Hello darlings, my name is Artemxs and welcome to WRDOHVN. I am a spiritual bridge and today we are connecting with the question, what is your future self demanding you let go of right now? So if that's something you're interested in, feel free to keep watching. There will be 4 piles, of course. Feel free to pause the video, meditate, figure out which one is calling your name. Forgiveness is a gift I give to myself. When I forgive others, I free myself from burdens of the past. True strength is resilience. I choose flow over force. My body is vibrant and beautiful. All expression and intentions flow through my heart center. I am love. And if you like the vibe, subscribe to the tribe. Otherwise, I'll see you next time. Bye. Hello, 𝚙𝚊𝚏𝚎. My body is vibrant and beautiful. Today we're tapping into the question, what is my future self demanding I let go of right now? I'm going to actually get all the cards and come right back. Okay, 𝚙𝚏, what is your future self demanding you let go of? We have fill up your well, retreat, rest, refuel. It's time for you to stop sleeping on yourself. Stop using the excuse of, oh, I have to rest. Oh, I have to recharge. We have Council of Light, Divine Orchestration, Helpers in the Subtle Realm. You are someone who uses your lack of energy as an excuse to not pursue, all right? We have, you need some fucking yoga in your life. Ancient shit is cool. Ancient shit goes back with this Council of Light. There's this energy of like, I'll do it if I saw a sign to do it. I know it's the right thing to do if it fills me up. But new things, new experiences may just drain you if you don't have the proper balance. If you're not implementing things in a healthy way, they can easily drain you. So the goal isn't to rest, to escape, to retreat away from the things that could make you happy or that could bring you joy. It's about finding balance. We have Moon, which is feelings. This is also Cancer, Pisces energy. It says instinct, nurturing, comfort, lineage, habits, emotions, mother, sustenance, family, privacy, conditioning. I feel like you've been conditioned to diminish your confidence. You've been in a position where what's really coming through for me is your mom would say things about your body and say things about your behavior that conditioned you to diminish your joy, to diminish your sense of expression. And now, even though you're not hanging out with your mother, you know, even though now you have new friends and you're in new environments, instinctively, you still are in this habit of lessening yourself, of dimming your light, of avoiding certain outcomes, certain opportunities, and certain people. And what your future self is demanding you let go of is the energy that you're not beautiful, that you need yoga or you need dance or you need fitness or you need the gym or you need these things to happen, to occur before you can embody confidence, before you can embody your femininity. But in actuality, exactly how you are is enough. You just have to change your feelings about your situation. So if this is what your future self is telling you to let go of, let's figure out what you should put there instead. What should 𝚙𝚏 fill up on? If they're letting go of the stigmas, they're letting go of the bad and negative self-talk, what do they put in its place now that there's so much emptiness? Once they cleared room for the better, what are they to fill it with? But you saw how it came up in reverse. Number 36. the past came up in reverse. So it's like, fill things up not with the past, not with memories of what used to be. Fill yourself up with the potential of the future, the possibility of what could unravel next. So once we scrape out the gunk for pile 1, what are we putting in its place? We have Teresa of Avila, Our Lady of the Interior Life. I trust the answers I find within me. I know that the presence of love is real. I feel like you should journal. She has a pen in her hand. It'll help you spark some ideas. Also with the interior life, it's a lot of internal things, which goes back. You don't need yoga. You don't need the gym. You can do those things because you want to, because it makes you feel good, because it helps the ache in your back, but not because you think you need it. Not because until I go to the gym, until I lose 80 pounds, that's when I'm enough. The interior life is how you feel about yourself on the inside. The presence of love is real. And trust the answers you find within me. You don't have to look outside of yourself for the truth. You don't have to look at spirit and hope to find a sign. You don't have to look at your parents and hope they sign your permission slip. The answers are within you. What you believe is what you allow. And since this is a nun, it's giving me the impression we're like, what am I hearing? Like this person, and it doesn't just have to be a nun. With the head covering, it's also making me think of like a hijab or something. Like your ideas of what you want your life to look like could look different than how you were raised. You could have been raised with no religion and you really want to be a Christian. You could have been raised as a Christian and you really want to be a Muslim. Like it doesn't have to be that particular. But it's saying the things that resonate with you, the things that feel true to you when it comes to God, when it comes to yourself, when it comes to how you want to appear in the world, when it comes to your thoughts on reincarnation or aliens or whatever the case may be. It's your choice. It's your option. It's your free will. And it's time you find your peace and don't demonstrate or don't be a demonstration of what you think other people's pieces. You're like, oh, let me just be the best daughter I could be so that, or what am I hearing? Like say you hang out with your mom and when you're with her, you skip meals because you're like, I'm trying to keep the peace because if I eat too much, she's going to be like, ay, mira gordita, eating again. And that's just like something you're trying to avoid is what I'm hearing. And it's like, make sure the voice in your mind sounds like you and doesn't sound like her. Pile 1's letting something go. What are they supposed to fill that empty spot with? Oh, look, we have more priest energy, which goes back to that like nun card. We're not going to keep it because 2 cards came out, but it's hinting at some spiritual connection, definitely. 2 cards. We only want 1. Oh, I guess it was meant to come out. Priest. Facilitates spiritual commitment. Serves as a channel of spiritual energy. Yeah, it's saying let go of waiting for the ultimate sign. Oh, if I don't see it in real life, it must not be true, right? It's kind of like be in tune with your intuition. If you believe it to be true, if you feel it to be true, if it's in your gut, if it's in your heart, you don't need the confirmation nor the validation of people who don't see what you see. If Jesus came to you in a dream and spoke to you, and you said that out loud, some people may think you're foolish or lying or exaggerative. But if you know in your heart how you felt, how you were overwhelmed with emotions, how the tears flooded your eyes, that's validation enough. You don't need people who don't see what you see and haven't been where you've been to confirm things for you. They don't know any better. It's time for you to commit to your practices. I'm even hearing some of you want to learn a language, but like the language isn't your, like, part of your culture. And if it was up to your family, they're like, why would you take your time to learn Japanese when you're half Puerto Rican and don't even speak Spanish? Like, your time could be served better. And it's something you're called to do. Like, they're not you. They don't know your calling. They don't know your capabilities. What am I hearing? I'm gonna get some tarot. What can Pile 1 do to take action, to let go? How? How can Pile 1 let go? Dang. All of these cards are coming up in reverse. All right. How you can let go is, don't put so much emphasis on what it means to win. Don't give up and regret your decisions just because other people might feel a type of way about it. Let people be heartbroken. Let people be in a sense of pain. You have been in this position yourself for so long. You felt stabbed in the back. You felt like there was people you couldn't trust. You felt like you couldn't even trust yourself. And you're like, for the sense of peace, I can let other people win. That's not something that's important to me. But it's time for you to have a new way of thinking. Your goal, your focus should be on trusting the love that's around you, trusting the love you get to give to yourself. It's time for you to make a choice. And you need to choose feeling good. The Queen of Wands is a bad bitch, okay? It's being beautiful, like to the point where you're inspiring others to do the same. Enthusiasm, confidence, right? And that's the thing you're lacking. Confidence, not because you don't have it, but it's like because you're scared to own it. Something said you weren't allowed before and you believed it for so long. And look at this sunflower. A sunflower needs sun to grow. So that means you have to be in the light. Something about this black cat is reminding me again of spirituality. And maybe you grew up where having this spiritual connection, having this sense of intuition, feeling like you can communicate with God was kind of frowned upon. Was kind of looked at as maybe, I don't know, demonic or something bad or something that had a sense of darkness associated with it. But that's not your belief about it. And if you don't believe it to be true, then it's not. You have to find your truth. We're going to get one more card, and then I think I'm going to leave it there. Final message for Pile 1. We have telepathy. Yes. Nonverbal communication, energetic pulses, mind reading. You have a very strong intuition. You, in fact, do have a spiritual gift. It's not bad. It's not negative. There's good and bad in all things. If you're learning dark magic, if you're learning some shenanigans that go against people's free will, okay, you know that's a problem. But you're coming from a place of love, right? Don't deny this gift you have just because you're scared to own it. But all in all, back to the beginning, your body is vibrant and beautiful. Your gifts, your talents, your capabilities are beautiful. You don't need anyone's approval of how you should look, how you should be, how you should act, what you should think. It is all up to you. I hope you believe it too. This is what I have for you, Pile 1. Thank you so much for watching. If it resonated with you, please comment down below and let me know. Otherwise, I'll see you next time. Bye. Hello, Pile 2. For those of you who chose true strength is resilience, I choose flow over force. We are tapping into what your future self is demanding you let go of right now. So I'm going to get the cards and I'll be right back. All right, Pile 2. What your future self is demanding you let go of is saying yes when you want to say no. Yes, just say yes. You say yes a lot. You actually abandon yourself in the process every time you say yes and you wish it was a no. We have 𝚙𝚏𝚎, longing for home, belonging, the original light workers. That's why you do it. You're tired of being this version where you're like off on the side by yourself, maybe even dissociating from the focus of the situation. And let's go back to this yes card. They both have something in their hands, right? All of them have some hand situation going on, but it's the back is turned. So it's like your back is turned to yourself, because obviously these are all copies of each other. And it's like each version you have of yourself, none of them are true to you. All of them are different versions that benefit other people. And every time you say yes, you're turning your back to them, to yourself. And it's like, yeah, helping people is nice, but I feel like it's a lot of work. When you're using your hands, that's manual labor. That's not something that's automated. That's not something, I don't know. It feels like it's something it's not modern. It's something when people ask something of you, it's something that takes everything out of you. And then we have, where the fuck is your sense of humor? And the card says laugh, but it came out this way. And what you need to let go of is the seriousness of the situation. You tell yourself, oh, I have to do this thing. I have no choice. If I don't do this thing, so they'll abandon me. If I don't turn my back on myself, they'll turn their back on me. It's time for you to let go of situations that don't come from love. Let go of lacking love. We have the Sun card, which is Leo energy. It says essence, energy, self-awareness, masculinity, individuality, solitude, childishness, self-sufficiency, spirit, creativity, heartbeat, father. What's coming through for me is your father was emotionally unavailable. Yeah, you guys had fun. You guys were creative. But emotionally, I feel like this actually didn't occur. Your heart was never cracked open. You never had the space to like truly feel things. Instead, you dealt with the weight of your spirit in solitude. Instead, you've abandoned your emotions like, oh, we don't have to focus on that. No worries. You're just light and fun and smiley. I feel like you are a very warm and caring person, but behind the surface, there's a lot of darkness people don't realize. And not even darkness, there's just a lot of pain. But it's time to let go of those things. There's also this essence of masculinity around this pile where it's like a sense of independence, of going at it alone, of figuring it all out yourself. True strength is resilience. That's something you very much so believed. You're like, I don't have time to wallow in my sorrows. I feel like this group could be POCs. When you're raised as a POC, at least in my experience, POC is a person of color, you don't have the luxury of emotions because there's shit you gotta do. There's things you gotta take care of. And resilience, how much you can stack on your back, how much you can put in your cup and keep moving. That was a goal for you. That was like the epitome or the epitome of success. That's why you don't have a sense of humor, because you don't know how to go with the flow. Everything is kind of a forced outcome, a forced narrative, a forced finish. Yes, I'll do that. Yes, I'll help you. Yes, I can do it. But these are all things you need to let go of. Especially the part where you feel like you have to do it on your own. You can have your own sense of self, but still be in a group. I'm not sure if you have siblings. I feel like you felt like you were the middle child or the black sheep, or just like the forgotten kid. Some of you were only child and you would be like, you only have one kid to keep up with. It's crazy you forgot me. I understand being forgotten in a bunch of siblings, but when it's just me, something about being a burden and a bother. But those are all mentals and lies you have to get rid of. I just seen 747. All right, well, if you're letting go of this energy, this mindset, to the point where you're empty, what are you going to fill in that place? What goes next? Let's take a look. If pile 2 empties out the things that no longer serve them, what do they fill up that space with? Too many cards. What do they fill up that space with? Miracles almost came out. I only want one card. Magic almost came out, but again, I only want one card. Okay. We have number 15, Freya, radical acceptance. What is pile 2 filling up that space with? We have Mary o' Nazareth, the Mother of God. I am blessed. My courage gives birth to the divine. I find it interesting that this card said Father, and this card says Mother. What are they putting in that spot? Getting out the gunk and filling it with what? Oh, too many cards. Getting out the gunk and filling it with what? We have hedonist. Inspires creative energy to embrace the good things in life. Celebrates the beauty in yourself. And we did have creativity right here. Creative. All right. Based on these cards, you got to accept the fact that if you say no to someone and they turn their back to you, they were never loving you to begin with. Your no, your boundaries shouldn't push anyone away. Boundaries are there to help keep a sense of balance. It's so people know what's your limits are. It's so people can love you better. And if people are taking your no as a challenge to make you say yes, if people are taking your no as a slap in the face, as a sign of disrespect, that's a form of manipulation. And that's not something you should put up with. That's not something you should allow any longer. If anything, you've allowed it for too long. With radical acceptance and these like infinity looking 8s right here, it's giving me the impression that you have to accept that life's circumstances are what has made you feel lonely. The people you have surrounded yourself with is when you feel lonely. The way you have interacted with life and yourself is what makes you feel lonely. You have to accept that if your life was presently on an infinite loop, would you feel love? The goal to me is love, okay? Look at this heart. Look at this heart. You want to be cracked open. It seems scary and it seems hard. And you're almost like, if I break, like, what if I'm never able to be whole again? But your ooey gooey goodness, your hot fudge center, okay, it can't, like, pretend you were a lava cake and you're the hot fudge ooey gooey goodness in the middle. If they don't cut the cake in half, if they don't break open a piece, you would never experience that warmth, that middle. And that's kind of how it is. Of course, it feels scary to be cracked open. It feels vulnerable, and it feels like everyone can see our secrets and our vulnerabilities and our truths, and it's scary what they might find. But that's how you get closer to yourself and other people. That's how you get closer to love. I am blessed. My courage gives birth to the divine. Your courage of letting people in, of allowing yourself to say no, regardless of what the repercussions may be, gives birth to the divine. When an egg is cracked open, that's when the chick comes out. That's when the baby's born, right? That's when the life has emerged. So having the courage to crack it open gives birth to the divine, gives birth to the reason of your soul, gives birth to your spirit, gives birth to your life force. You have to accept that, yeah, starting to say no, starting to put yourself first is going to be a different outcome, is going to be different than the life you lived before. You have to accept that. But you also get to accept that making different decisions and making different moves is how you get out of this corner, is how you get out of your own way, is how you get away from the sidelines and find your people. A hedonist, it says, inspires creative energy to embrace the good things in life, celebrates the beauty in yourself. You have a good thing going. You are a good person. And I feel like a part of you feels like you're behind. Emotionally, you feel behind. Emotionally, you feel young. You feel like people have, done more than you or have more experience than you in certain degrees. And you're just like, my knowledge is a bunch of theory because I haven't really had a chance to express myself and to experience things. And that's maybe true, but that doesn't mean you can't still have these things. The reason people seem more emotionally mature than you is because they've put themselves in positions where they had to learn, where they had to grow, where they had to be cracked open. And now it's time for you to pursue your pleasure and crack yourself open and figure out, find your laughter, find your smile, find your joy. Let's pull some tarot. How can Pile to establish this energy? How can they bring in this new? Do I want one more? Yes, I'm so happy I picked another one. How do you tap into this energy? We have the Fool. The Fool is Uranus energy, if I'm not mistaken, which is basically Aquarius energy. And Aquarius are the weirdos of the zodiac. And you have to be in a position where you're allowing yourself to have a new beginning. Okay, put on a bomb playlist that makes you feel encouraged. Get your emotional support pet that could even be a friend. And get your backpack of water and essentials so you're ready to go. And then we have sun, like the sun is shining, right? And don't be afraid to look stupid. Like, the way you do this is to just try. Of course you're new and maybe a little naive. You've never been here before. But the fact that you're allowing yourself to explore this opportunity, to be excited about the possibility of what's next, is really what's so important. Put your playlist on and see where the day takes you. With Seven of Wands here, that's the energy of protecting your inner light. Of feeling like you have to defend yourself against other people. And I feel like in the beginning, it will kind of feel like that transition. Because people are so used to you saying yes, or you being a people pleaser, or knowing they can manipulate you. So for you to have the upper hand in your own life, for you to be in a position where maybe you're starting to establish a sense of boundary, or you're getting comfortable saying no, you're going to feel like you have to defend yourself for a while. But that's not a problem. And you honestly don't owe anybody an explanation. And if you need one, you could say, actually, I'm in a position where I'm starting to put myself first. I want to see what life would be like if I did what was best for me. If I said yes to myself before saying yes to others. Because in this position, she has this stick with both hands and she's kind of, looking up at the possibility of where things can go. But in this position, okay, hair is down, heels are on, like it's a whole different stance. This is a position of someone who's ready to defend themselves. So of course it's going to start young, it's going to start naive, it's going to start a little scary. But don't get me wrong, you're going to be in a position where you have both hands gripped with force, with comfortability, where you won't be scared of your own strength. We have Two of Cups. Two of Cups is about love. It could be romantic love, soulmates, a partnership. But there's going to be this exchange here where you're not alone anymore. Longing for home, belonging, the original light worker. And what do we see in the background? We see a lighthouse. So there is going to be a light in your dark. Something that comes through. There's going to be, and this right here is making me think of Leo, right? And we have the Sun card. And the Sun card is Leo energy. So Leos are very expressive and creative. And I'm getting a phone call and it's super distracting. Okay. What was I saying? Yeah. So anyway, there's going to be a healthy connection that's established. And I'm not saying it is romantic or not. It could be friends, starts out as friends and like develops into something more. But what I'm saying is you are not going to be alone. Okay? Not everyone is going to turn their back to you. There is going to be someone who sees you eye to eye, who matches your reciprocity. They're not just taking and taking and taking. You're giving and you get something in return. And it could be an interracial relationship, okay? It could be a friend that doesn't look like you, that's not the same as you, right? One has ballet flats on, one has combat boots on, one has light skin, one has a little bit of darker skin, one is in a dress, one is in shorts. One is giving a slight masculine vibe, one's giving a slight feminine vibe. And even though it's giving like an opposites attract, even though they don't look like they might have been through what you've been through, you guys have the same father, the same upbringing, the same emotional neglect. Like there's something where you see this person and it matches. It makes you feel seen. And last but not least, we have the Nine of Cups. The Nine of Cups is about your dreams being realized, about you getting everything you ever wanted. So make a list And I don't care if it sounds far-fetched. Write down everything you wanted, everything you ever wanted. I wanted friends. I want company. I want a relationship. I want vulnerability. I want someone to see me for who I really am and choose me and not leave and not, you know, whatever the case is. Give yourself everything you've ever wanted. Don't wait for a boyfriend who will finally choose you and finally pick you. Don't wait for a dad who will love you more than they love your siblings. Love yourself enough to want better. Love yourself enough to allow yourself to look stupid, to try new things. True strength is resilience. And you're so strong. If your goal is strength, you've done it. You've completed it. And now it's time to find a new goal. Choose flow over force. Don't force the connection. Don't force the attention. Flow. Oh, I actually forgot. I was supposed to pull one more card for you, which is number 38. 38. 3 plus 8 is 11. 1 and 1 is like a reflection of each other, no? So it says guide, a guide, mentor, a trustworthy ally. This is your friend. This is your best friend. This is someone in your corner. This is someone face to face with you. You're not in it alone anymore. Okay. This is what I have for you, Pile 2. Thank you so much for watching. If it resonated, be sure to comment down below and let me know. Otherwise, I'll see you next time. Bye. Hello, Pile 3. So your group chose all expression and intentions flow through my heart center. I am love. In regards to what is your future self demanding you let go of right now, I'm actually going to shuffle and come right back. So, okay, Pile 3, we have the initiation, rite of passage. You're going somewhere sacred. Your future self wants you to let go of trying to rationalize your darkness and your pain. You're like, oh, if I just push through for another 2 years, it'll all be worth it because then I'll get that promotion or I'll get that raise. Or if I just prove that I can bury my head in the sand, or if I can prove I won't complain. If I can just push through the struggle, it'll be for a reason. It'll be for a purpose. You're under the impression that you have to go through trash and darkness and disrespect to get to the light at the end of the tunnel. Just because you come from a history of struggle and strife doesn't mean you have to keep up that same cycle just to prove you matter. I heard something like, back in my day, you think I'm being mean to you? Back in my day, my parents used to smack me in my face and spit on me and told me I wasn't shit. You think I care that you, I don't even know. I don't even know why that accent came out, but that's how it came. There's something about like this history, this lineage, this constant conversation of I did it and I turned out okay, so you gonna do it and you can't complain. I don't know. I'm also seeing holes where the grandpa, you know, spent all his life digging a hole to find a treasure that never belonged to him, to the point where he passed on that routine to his granddaughter. And even though she was like, I'm tired of this, grandpa, he was like, that's too damn bad. And then she grew up to be just like her grandpa. But if you remember from the start, that was a life she never wanted to live. But she was so conditioned to finding this treasure or getting this goal that she thought that was the only way to like prove or to settle her family's debts, or, you know, something about the belief. But it's saying, your future self is saying, let go of the initiation. Or, you know, when people pledge frat houses and they got to go through rush week and they're getting spit on and have to clean toilets and have to do all this crazy demeaning shit, and they're like, it's worth it because I'm gonna be in a network of brothers that is going to propel me in the future. And that's because you we're conditioned. Maybe your family also came from this fraternity where it's like, you have to do this shit. You're a real man if you can sleep with the snakes and get bit. That's how you prove you matter. Like, I'm gonna let go of the analogy, don't worry. But like, you don't have to step through darkness to get to the light. That's a lie. And a lie you need to let go of. We have Sisterhood of the Rose, Beauty and Devotion, Priestess, Mystic, Teacher. What am I hearing? I'm under the impression that someone in this group wants to be a cosmetologist. You know, like a hairstylist. What am I hearing? What am I hearing? You could be the oldest sibling. You feel like you're setting an example for those who came after you. What I'm hearing is let go of like this older sibling routine, right? It's like, yeah, you could be the older sibling, but that doesn't mean you are the parent. And you might have been put in the role of parent and caretaker and such. But now that you guys are older or like more established, you can let go of that energy. There's something about there's so many storylines depending on the age, but I'm gonna just say the vision that's the strongest. And obviously, remember, if it doesn't fit, it ain't shit. So like, take the parts that resonate and leave the rest behind. There's this impression of you being the older sibling, or you being like the one in charge, not too much in charge, because someone still gives you your tasks and still like tells you what to do, but you're like the manager, the team lead. You still like delegate to other people, and it's telling you, do not enforce the same rules you hate. You hate that your family or the owner of this company or whomever is above you, you hate that they put certain restrictions on you. You hate that they rush you, or they're impatient, or they put you in this darkness, right? And they convince you it's for this ultimate goal. But you've taken all the things you hate and have managed to push that forward. There's something about you being the older sister, but you're not allowing people to bloom on their own time. You think because you walk through the desert to the point where your feet bled, everyone else has to do that to prove this point, to prove that they mean it or that they matter. There's something around you not leaving your hometown to go to school because something about abandonment or abandoning your family. People rely on you. It's weird. I'm gonna come back to that thought, but right here with communication, another something you need to let go of. It says words, thoughts, information. This is Gemini energy, by the way. Learning, reporting, curiosity, narrative, vision, trade, ideas, perception, awareness, wonder. You need to let go of the thoughts, the idea of it, and actually execute it. You're curious about what life would be if this wasn't the life you lived. You're curious about what you can learn in a student position and would like to retire from your teacher title. It's not everyone else's fault, it's yours in reverse. And then we have, you're a grown-ass adult, stop blaming others for your shit. It's the opposite. You haven't put as much blame on the people who instilled these characteristics on you or this mindset on you. You kind of internalize it all, that it is your fault. Oh, well, it's my fault. Everyone else was able to go through these trials and tribulations, so I should be able to do it too. Everyone else in my family was neglected and didn't have nurturing or didn't have parents, so I should be able to too. There's something about not having parents Were you an orphan? But something about you taking all of the burden and you thinking everything was your fault. And it's time for you to just be the sister, not the parent. And also this, you need to let go of the things that don't make you happy. It's not saying let go of happiness, because it's in reverse. It's saying let go of the things standing in between you and happiness. Some of you need to let go of the religion. Some of you have parents or have a family, a familial unit that does shitty shit and then will like quote a Bible verse about it. No, we can't like gay people. It says right there in the Bible, man shall not lay with man. And it's like you want new information. You want new ideas. You want new conversations. And it's not your fault for not fitting in here. And with these bees here, it's like you're a busy bee. You're constantly working. I see you on a farm and you want to go, you want to explore, you want to get an education, and your family's like, what's the education going to do for you? This farm's been in our family for life, and I was a farmer, your grandma was a farmer, and you're damn sure going to be a farmer too. And you're like, it's my fault for not fitting in. It's my fault for thinking I deserve more, or I deserve better. It is more than okay that you do not want to walk through the swamps to get to the light. It's more than okay that you don't want to struggle the way that they did, that you want better for yourself. And I know that's something you might have not said out loud, or something you feel undeserving of. And you're like, no, I can't go to college, and then my little sister, I can't take her college fund, or I can't take away from others, something like that. There's enough for everyone. There's more than enough for everything to go around for everyone, if that makes sense. Let's tap into what, if you get all of this stuff out of the way, you'll be empty. And what goodness are you going to fill those empty spaces with? That's the question. What does pile 3 fill those empty spaces with? Too many cards. Too many cards. Yeah, the narrative in your head, the way you communicate with yourself needs to change. Your expectations of yourself, your intentions, right? Pile 3. What can pile 3 fill that space with? They're letting go of that. What do they fill it with? What do they replace it with? Pile 3. Too many cards. Something about shuffling, right? Shuffle it up. Shuffle your ideas. Shuffle your intentions. Because if you keep doing this again and again, you're just going to be going in the same cycle. Pile 3. Pile 3. Before we continue, say, I am deserving of a change. I am allowed to be the difference. It's okay if I'm not fulfilled by the same. I am love. Say this, all expression and intentions flow through my heart center. I am love. You're not doing this to be difficult. You're not doing this to shake the branch, is what I heard. I don't even know what that means for real. You're doing this because you deserve happiness, because you deserve more, because you deserve to get back the things you put out. Now we're on the same page. And now that you know that you deserve, the card will come out. Pile 3. Revelation almost came out. Pile 3. What is pile 3 filling up with? Potential almost came out. Pile 3. Okay. We have co-creation, number 48, Spider Woman. But you saw how that card kind of came out in reverse? It landed like this. And I feel like it should stay like that. I mentioned living on a farm. Maybe you live on a reserve. Your family could have went through struggles on the mainland, your ancestors. So there's stories you've been told, narratives that have been passed down of how the mainland isn't safe and how leaving the reservation is dangerous. But yet you still have a calling for something outside of your familiar. You still have thoughts and ideas about what could be there. What can I learn from there? It's an experience you want to analyze yourself. And with co-creation in reverse, I feel like you often, the best idea in your mind would be to go and ask for permission. Like, hey, can I explore the other side of things part-time? But I promise I'll come back. I promise I'll do double the chores. Like, just, you're giving up your control in hopes that someone will grant you permission, in hopes that someone will allow you to explore your vision. But with co-creation in reverse, it's coming through where this is not something you can build with them. This is not something you can grow with your family. I'm not saying they won't benefit from your leaving or from your distance, but this is an experience you must live on your own. You are used to community and like commingling of funds and ideas, and this is something that will be just your own. This is a level of independence that you can't really give to other people or take with you, and you're not abandoning your siblings by going. You're not abandoning your culture or anything else by going. You're abandoning yourself by staying. By choosing to continue to be uncomfortable is abandoning yourself. When you need to choose love, you need to choose happiness. You've chose other people for so long. This is time to create something for yourself. Pile 3. What do they fill up this empty space with? If they're letting things go, what do they fill up that space with? We have Kuan Yin, the goddess of compassion. I recognize suffering in order to release it. Curiosity breeds compassion. And we have curiosity and curiosity. I recognize suffering. You're suffering, and it's time to release it. Allow yourself to want things. And even more than just wanting it or whispering it in the wind, allow yourself to have those things. Sure, maybe your family considers you selfish, but how many years have you given up for what they wanted and for their vision? It's time to spread your wings. You'll transform so much more being out there than you ever would being stuck under their thumb. Pile 3. If pile 3 is letting things go, what's coming towards pile 3? What are they embodying? We have addict. Helps you recognize and confront addictive behavior. Look up codependency, maybe. I feel like you're addicted to your parents' approval. You're letting your You're letting whatever pattern you're addicted to, right here. It says compromises integrity and honesty, allows an addictive pattern to have authority over your inner spirit. You're addicted to this mindset that you have to struggle, that you have to be here, that you have to stay here to be okay, right? And with addict, it's kind of like you have to be addicted. It says helps you confront addictive behavior. So it's almost like you're addicted to answers, you're addicted to solution, you're addicted to love, you're addicted to saying yes to yourself. You need to change your focus. Be addicted to new patterns, be addicted to new ideas and new insights. If it's old, if it's familiar, it's no longer for you. Be addicted to learning, be addicted to travel, to freedom, to self-acceptance. I just seen 2144. All right, I'm gonna pull some tarot. The actions pile 3 can take to help usher in this change, to help let go. The actions pile 3 can take. The Star, which is Aquarius energy. So we have Gemini energy, and now we have Aquarius energy, which is air sign energy. So we could shout out to Libra also. Libra, Aquarius, Gemini, those are all the air signs. Pile 3. Oh, more Aquarius energy. And this card, the Fool, also came out for pile 2, I believe. All right. Oh, and bottom of the deck is the Sun, which is Leo energy. The Sun is your essence, your spirit, your creativity, your life force, right? Your life force is dwindling, being here. And if you want to see the light, you have to travel there. And how do you travel there? By going. All right. So in terms of tarot, how do you start letting go? You have to stay adaptable. You have to stay flexible. You have to stay balanced, right? Because this is a new experience. So instead of just taking into consideration what other people want from you, you're starting to balance. You're starting to check in with yourself where you're like, what can I create for myself? That goes back to that addictive behavior. You're like, okay, let me not be addicted to my familiar, addicted to my past, addicted to my typical responses. How can I balance? How can I be flexible? How can I shift into this other unexperienced realm? So it's saying to stay balanced, stay flexible, stay adaptable. Of course, there's going to be anxiety, and there might be some nightmares and, you know, a little bit of insomnia, like late night staying awake, because again, there's air sign energy. Air signs are very much in their mind. So it's a lot of you reviewing your thoughts, going over what was said, going over what was done, and just being in your head a lot. But don't let that pain, something about you feel like you put pain on your family because you're trying to rise above them. And it's like, yeah, of course that's there. And those fears kind of get the best of us. But that doesn't mean you're not still prepared to go. You're ready to take this opportunity. You've been ready for a while. Get your cow, okay? Pack your bag. Get your weapons to defend yourself from the rumored big bad world, and allow yourself to venture off. Now is your time. With the stars, there's hope. There's so much hope here. You think, I could see this, I could see this, I could see you up late at night because of this insomnia, and you're looking up at the stars, and you're talking to the moon, and you're thinking like, oh, I remember the stars over the res, like, it's not as bright, they're not as vibrant out here in the city with the lights and the pollution, but to think this is the same sky I used to see, or the same moon I used to see. I want to read you actually the star card energy. And I didn't read for anyone else. I usually don't read for most people because it's like an intuitive situation, but it's being called upon, so I shall. the star is a symbol of hope after a disaster. Leaving your family behind, thinking they'll never talk to you again, thinking you disappointed them, that's a disaster to you. And what's funny is this says Sister Alyonushka and Brother Ivanushka. And I mentioned right here, with Sisterhood of the Rose, there's something about, you know, some sibling energy popping up. So it says Russian fairy tale. Anyway, the star is a symbol of hope after a disaster, the need to remain positive after misfortune, to remember that things can get better again. It is staying calm and open to the future possibilities, seeing your situation with open eyes, mind, and heart. It means hope, serenity, inspiration, insight, and spirituality. So even though things feel like rock bottom and things feel like, you know, they'll never forgive you, or they'll never answer your text, or they'll never answer your calls, it'll be better after this. You're prepared for this mission. With the Fool, this is potential, a potential for a new beginning. Obviously, this is Little Mermaid energy right here, but you know how she was just dying to get out of the water and to use her feet and to walk on land and to see what else was out there. That's you. You've been dying for this experience. You've been waiting to see what's in this light. And it's going to be hard work. Look at her hands. It is going to be hard work. It's going to take time to find your comfort in this new environment. But you are more than capable. You're prepared. You're ready to take charge. You're ready to get it done. You're so excited to have the opportunity. Allow yourself to want more. And it's not forever. You're not leaving your family forever. When you learn what you gotta learn, when you feel accomplished, you'll be back. Also, when you're out in the quote unquote real world, okay, when you're out in the designated nightmare, and I say that because your family kind of painted a picture of what life would be like without them, or what life would be like outside of the safety of the bubble you were born in, what life would look like without the privilege of everyone knowing your history, something like that. So when you get out into this place that you've been warned will reject you or humiliate you or not accept you, you are under the influence where you have to be perfect. You're like, well, I haven't been around this, I haven't experienced this, so I have to be perfect. It's making me think of Bridgerton season 4, where Sophie is a maid, but for one night she got to, you know, hang out with high class society. And it's kind of like you want to be extra perfect because you don't want to be found out. You don't want anyone to know the truth. And you're not in this position so that people can perceive you or accept you or vote on your experience. You're not here to be initiated by the rest of the world and hoping you're allowed, right? This experience is about you finding your light. This experience is about you confirming your own curiosities. Okay, and I have one more card and then I'll let you go because your pile is longer than everyone else's. I don't want anyone to feel some type way. Last card for pile 3. Yes, exactly. We have Adrift, number 27. 2 plus 7 is 9. 9 are all about endings. The ending before that next new beginning. Adrift, letting go, allowing a higher force to take charge for a time. Letting go of the expectations. Letting go of using your life to create something with them. Letting go of the things that keep you small, the things that block your blessings. Letting go of the darkness. Letting go of the patterns you're addicted to, right? Because pile 3, all expression and intentions flow through your heart center. You are love, so move with love. This is what I have for you. Thanks so much for watching. Until next time. Bye. Hello, pile 4. Those of you who chose, forgiveness is a gift I give to myself. When I forgive others, I free myself from burdens of the past. We are tapping into what your future self is demanding you let go of right now. So let me get the cards and I'll come right back. All right, pile 4. What your future self is demanding you let go of right now. We have Pillar of Light. It says your vibration is rising. You are the oracle. You need to let go of the light and love energy. You need to let go of people only seeing you on your good side, only seeing the best of you. We have the Crumbling. What are you clinging on to? You're clinging on to your reputation, right? Because right here we have 10th house, reputation, which is Capricorn energy. It says career, responsibilities, fame, pinnacle, which makes me think of Bridgerton season 4. If you know, you know. Okay, the patriarchy, empire, competence, achievement, fame, notoriety, legacy. You need to let go of people only seeing you at your best. People only knowing you as like this light, this glass half full energy. There's nothing wrong with being positive. There's nothing wrong with being a ball of light, but only expressing that side of yourself is borderline like fake positivity energy is really what's coming out. Humanity is filled with various aspects and various sides of ourselves. And if your social media effort is to only show the good side, you're not showing all of you. But it doesn't even have to be social media. It could even be like in your everyday career. There's something about you're trying to control the way people perceive you. You need to let go of how other people see you. And I'm assuming focus on how you see yourself. With now is not the fucking time. You need to let go of the excuse of no, now is not the time. Now isn't right. There's something about denying your creativity, which also needs to be let go of. You need to be more creative at any point in time. If you're being called to sing, to draw, to dance, to move, to show up in a way, do that. Don't swallow that down and don't push it away to put on your fake smile and tie your apron to get what did I hear? To bake the right recipe of perfection. Like I feel like you constantly are telling yourself, oh, now is not the time to explode. Now is not the time to allow that or to do that or to pursue that, because you're clinging on to the way other people see you. Do you watch Bridgerton? Bridgerton energy is coming through so strong for me right now. It's also making me think of Lady, what's her name? Lady Danberg? I don't know. I watched the show, but like I'm not obsessed with the show. Lady Danbury. There we go. Lady Danbury is like the right-hand man to the queen, and she is in a point in time where she has been a lady in waiting, which is like the queen's helper, for so long that now she just wants something for herself. Now she wants to travel before it's too late. Now she wants to like experience other things. And for so long she's like, now is not the time. Now is not the time to pursue that. Now is not the time to visit my home country, because I have responsibilities to my career, because I have a responsibility to my fans, because I have a responsibility to my queen. Something about putting other people's expectations of you and clinging on to how they feel about you versus how you feel about yourself. Some of you don't feel anything. Some of you feel like unless you are an emblem to the people, unless you're there for the people, then you are nothing. You weigh your value based on how beneficial you are to others. And it's time to let that go. Something about a pillar of light for the community, a pillar of light for the people who came before you, like there's young people who look up to you, or they're people from the same neighborhood you were in, and the fact that you even got out is a miracle. So now you feel like you have to be this representation, or what's it called when you look up to someone, this role model of how you're supposed to be. And not that this positivity isn't a part of you, it is, but it's just that it's a part of you, it's not all of you. So you overly identifying with this one facet of you is something you need to let go of. And if you're letting things go, then you'll have a sense of empty. And what are you going to fill that empty with? Let's find out. Pile 4. What would pile 4 fill that space with? Okay, too many cards. Oh, here we go. Devotion, number 41. 4 plus 1 is 5, and 5 is about change. Devotion. They want me to read you the entry for this card. I didn't read the entry for these cards for anyone else, so feel special, okay? When the Hindu goddess Parvati rises up to greet you, she is acknowledging you for your sincere devotion to personal growth. The goddess Parvati comes now to offer her help because blind faith in others isn't serving you, and devotion to something undeserving may be showing up in your life. Ask yourself why you are so committed to someone or something you know deep down will fail you. Are you afraid of seeing things as they are? What if you let go and allow a higher force to guide you to the right people, places, and things that are in your highest good? Can you remember when the devotion to this ultimate spiritual partnership was reciprocated? Consider what happens when you place your attention only on money, status, ambition, and power. The world becomes narrow and you lose connection to a higher existence and your greater good. The goddess Parvati offers this alignment task. Get your spiritual life in order. Make prayer and meditation part of your daily routine. Act as if you believe that what is for you won't go past you, and that what must proceed will do so without your interference. You will be amazed at how everything falls into place. The goddess Parvati reminds you that you are so loved and cherished. Let's run it back to when it said, ask yourself why you're so committed to someone or something you know deep down will fail you. Are you afraid of seeing things as they are? You continuing to live a life that is not true to you is going to fail you because you're going to continue to feel the wedge between who you are and who you pretend to be. And again, I'm not saying your positivity isn't real and isn't genuine and isn't honest, but to always live that life, to always put that foot forward, and to only be a representation of that is a detriment to you, because then there's parts of you that you feel you cannot share because they don't fit this image of light. Light to me isn't saying good morning. Light to me isn't only niceness and kindness. Light to me is authenticity. Light to me is being your true self, even if that's harsh sometimes, even if that's direct, even if occasionally that hurts other people's feelings, not because you're saying it with malicious intent, because you're saying what you feel to be true. And if other people feel some type of way, that's a healing they have to do. Always being, you're so right, you're so amazing, you're so awesome, is nice to hear. But those are like fake pleasantries. That doesn't really benefit anyone's growth. So you clinging to the reputation of you, the expectation of you, instead of being the truth of you, is where the separation lies. So you have to fill yourself with a new sense of devotion. Pile 4. If pile 4 is letting things go, what are they filling it with? We have green Tara, the Buddha of enlightened action. My soul informs me every step. I do what my heart compels me to do. If they love you like they say they do, if they appreciate you like they say they do, wouldn't you being your true self? Something about you being your true self, you feel like will reject others from you. But just like this card said, The people who are meant to be with you, the people who truly value you, will still be drawn towards you. There's something about music. Like, say you always made music and you made music for the fans. And you're like, I can't change my sound, or I can't, you know, have that album I always wanted to write because my fans know me like this. My fans expect this from me. Fans of you are supposed to be true to you. So that means when you grow and you change, they still appreciate and value you. And if they're not fans of you, but fans of your music or fans of your hobby or fans of your work, all the work you've done previously that made them fall in love with you will still be available. What I mean by that, Ed Sheeran used to be my favorite artist. I seen him in concert, everything. When he was very much so on his like singer-songwriter energy. He does still write his own music. That's not the case, but it's more so when he got signed, when he became popular, his sound did change. It wasn't so sad, and it wasn't so once you get signed as an artist, or once you get signed as a lot of things, things don't look so indie. Things don't look so independent. They start sounding mainstream because, right, there's money behind them. There's different support in their corner. So Ed Sheeran, love him to the death of me. Still think he's super talented, but his sound changed. His sound became more commercial. Does that mean I hate him? No, I love Ed Sheeran. I still wish him the best, but I'm not stalking him anymore, right? I'm not following up after him. And that doesn't mean I don't appreciate him. That doesn't mean I don't care about him. And yeah, does his music sound like something I'm looking for? Am I like replaying his whole album now? No, maybe I like one or two songs, or like, you know, something here or there. But if I want the old Ed Sheeran back, I can just listen to the old albums. And that was really the point I was trying to get across. If people are missing the old you, you have a history of work where they can identify with that energy. But it's okay for you to grow, and it's okay for you to change. And people who are genuinely fans of you will still be devoted to you because you're choosing to live your truth. Pile 4. If they have space in their life, what are they filling it with? They got out the gunk, and what do they fill it with? Yes, we have hedonist, which also came out for pile 2, maybe? Okay, hedonist. It says, inspires creative energy. Because remember, we have creativity in reverse, because creativity is blocked right now. You're not being creative because you're not working from, you know, enlightened action. You're not listening to your soul and creating from a place of like glee and exhilaration and like freedom, you know? You're blocking your creativity by clinging on to the expectation of you or what you think other people want from you. So with hedonist, it says inspires creative energy to embrace the good things in life, celebrates the beauty in yourself. And then the shadow says indulges at the expense of others. That's your belief. You think if you pursue your pleasures and you pursue your wants, it'll be at the expense of your fans or at the expense of the people who put you where you are. You put yourself where you are. Yeah, the fans might have bought your album or bought your work or put money in your pocket, but your courage, your devotion to your creativity and your craft is what got you in this position. Don't forget where you started or how you started. I'm also going to pull some tarot. What steps can pile 4 do to get in line with their future self? We have justice right here, which is Libra energy. We also have the chariot, which is Cancer energy. What can pile 4 do to get this outcome? Ace of Wands. We want another card? Okay. We have the moon, which is Cancer energy. Some people also consider it Pisces energy. Too many cards. Something about allowing yourself to want is selfish or something. Too many cards. How can pile 4 pursue this? Okay. 8 of Swords. Do we want another card? No. All right. All right, so, oops. I guess you need to get smacked into action. You know when someone's like hyperventilating and someone smacks them in movies and they're just like, oh, that's what I needed. I feel like this reading might be the smack in the face you needed. I don't know. Let me know if that is the case. Yeah, with the Page of Pentacles here, it's kind of like you're hiding your bloom. They know you as a blossom and you're ready to bloom into something else, and you're hiding that. Again, as we know why, for the sake of others, but this energy is like student energy. This is an opportunity. There's an opportunity for you to find balance. And don't look at it as a consequence of your actions. Look at it as an opportunity to balance the scales. You've been too far on one side. You've been too far clinging onto what other people want from you. And it's time to emerge from this shell and be the truth of who you are. You see her on the side of the light. That goes back to that light energy. But you're more than just that. There's a whole nother door. There's a whole nother path here that's been denied. With the Chariot is about taking all of your lessons from the past and moving forward with courage, with momentum, with a purpose, right? There's potential for a new beginning here. There's potential for a new sense of inspiration. But there's something in your subconscious. There's this anxiety where you feel trapped, where you won't allow yourself to have what you truly want. You see this darkness? Your back is turned to your truth, to the mystery of you. It's almost like you don't even give yourself the opportunity to discover yourself. You're a student. And you're still trying to figure out and you're still trying to learn about yourself, which is more than okay. But you can't keep yourself trapped in the same place, stuck, unable to move, clinging to what's in the dark, right? You have to allow the doors to open to see what else is gonna help you bloom. Forgiveness is a gift I give to myself. When I forgive others, I free myself from burdens of the past. Forgive yourself for putting the expectation on others that they wouldn't love your next evolution. One more card and then I'm gonna let you go. For pile 4, final message. We have the crane bag, number 35. It says, sacred ocean medicine, clutter, declutter, choice. It's your choice to stay at a standstill. Because how is it that you feel light? How is it on the surface you're feeling this light, but alone you're feeling this dark? That's because you're out of balance. And the way you get back in line with yourself is to devote yourself to the right things. Declutter your mind from the expectations of people not wanting to experience the next version of you. If someone truly loved you, they want to see your evolution. They want to see your growth. And I genuinely feel the people who appreciate your creativity and your mind, the sacred medicine that pours out of your energy, that's not something that's going to be ruined or going to be changed just because you express, display, or share another side of yourself. If you only ever written love songs, it's okay to write about pain and struggle and darknesses. Just how people are multifaceted humans, so are you. And that just gives them more experience and more similarity and like something more to relate to you. But this is what I have for you, pile 4. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time. Bye.